Hey guys, welcome. This is Deepika from mytutorialrank.com and I'm here with another Java interview question. So the question is, a single try block can have multiple catch blocks coexist in a Java program. Is this true or not? The answer is yes. One try block can have multiple catch block, but you always have to remember that the more specific exceptions type should be on the top as compared to the general exceptions. So let's go ahead and take a look at this example here. So I have created a class called multiple catch and it has a main method, and in this main method I have written this block of code in a try block, and then I have multiple catch blocks after that. So here I'm saying integer n is equals to 1000, x is equals to 0, everything is good at this point. Then I've created an array of integer type and the length of the array is about 1000, which is also fine. Then I'm creating a for loop here. I is equals to 0, I less than equals to n, which is 1000, which is also correct. Equals to is going to give you a problem, right? N equals to 1000. It's going to give a problem because it will give you out of bound exception. But let's see. I plus plus I is equals to I divided by x. So here you can see x is 0. So in the first time, when what's going to happen is you're going to hit this exception, which is x is equals to 0. So you're dividing 1000 by 0, and this is going to give you the arithmetic exception here. So what will get executed in this case? This is going to get executed. But if let's say x is not equals to 0, then what's going to happen? This exception is going to come, which is less than equals to n, which is array index out of bound exception, because you're trying to access the array at the 1000 location because of this equals to sign, which is also not true. So then this also happens if this gets fixed. And then you have is the general exception. So this should be the order of your catch block. You cannot put this catch block here, because what happens is this is syntax wise, this is going to complain because you have put a bigger bucket which handles all type of exceptions on the top, and then you have smaller buckets. The program will never reach there because all the exceptions will automatically be captured by this catch block if you have moved this catch block on the top here. So let's go ahead and see the example that we have discussed here. So I'll go back to my Eclipse here. And as you can see, I have created a multiple catch example class, and inside of this I have a try block, and with this corresponding try we have multiple catch block, and this is syntax wise it is correct. You can have multiple catch blocks with one try. But you have to remember this block should be, the more general one should be at the bottom. If I try to move this over here and if I try to save this, you're going to see errors here. And the error, if you read the error, it says unreachable catch block for array index out of bound exception. It is already handled by the catch block for exception. So you can see here, since you have put a bigger bucket on the top, all the exceptions will automatically be captured. None of the exceptions will reach here. So that's why it's an unreachable. Similarly, the similar error message comes here. It says unreachable catch block for arithmetic exception. It is already handled by the catch block for exception. So you always have to put the bigger bucket of exceptions at the last. Okay, now you have x is equals to 0, and when you're trying to execute this I divided by x, the error would be at 8. What kind of exception would be thrown? In this case, the exception would be equals to. See, now you must be wondering why it's not complaining on n and why it is complaining on arithmetic, because it's starting when you start the block for I is equals to 0, I less than equals to 1000. It hasn't computed over to the 1000 point, right? That's why it is not there. So then what happens is, this is the exception, I is equals to I divided by x, which is I is equals to what? I is equals to 0. 0 divided by 0 is basically wrong, and that's why you're going to get an arithmetic exception. So now if I go ahead and run as Java application, you can see here you got a second block arithmetic exception. Let's say we figured this out. We say 10 here instead, we change it. Now where the error occurs at this line, equals to n, which is the array index out of bound exception. So now if I go ahead and run this, you're going to get array index out of bound exception because of this equals to n. But if you remove this equals to n and you leave it here, then none of these exceptions will occur. You can see none occurred. Okay, so this is the answer. You can have multiple catch block for a given try block, but always you need to remember the more bigger buckets of exceptions should be at the bottom, whereas more specific exceptions catch block should be prior to that. Okay, otherwise those will not even be reachable and you are going to get a compilation error. So you can see here, this particular time, if I repeat myself here, let's say we reverted back this to 0, and what is the exception you're going to get? And this equals to n. First time it is going to give you arithmetic exception. Which line is going to give you the arithmetic exception? This line, I divided by x, is going to give you the arithmetic exception. So this is going to be there. And which line is going to give you array index? This line is going to give you the array index out of bound exception. So there are two problems with this code. I hope this is crystal clear, and I'm going to see you in another video with the next interview question. So stay tuned for that, and thank you very, very much.